It's April 27th, 2022, and I just signed up for my first women's self-defense class, Krav Maga style. I have been wanting to do this for a while. And as I start deeper processing all of my trauma, and then I started dating again to try to heal that, and just felt so unsafe, felt that if I didn't have my guard up, it would have gotten really bad. And if I just listened to what he said and went to places he asked me to go and didn't put up a fight to stay in public and to leave when I felt unsafe. And to be honest, I've felt unsafe in my own body ever since that day. And that was like at least over a week ago now. And then I went home that night to try to calm myself down, watch one of my favorite shows. And a woman was attacked and was attempted to be raped. And she was able to fight off her attacker. And I know that I wouldn't be. I wouldn't have been. And that like sparked something in me like, whoa, I want to be able to do that. I want to at least be able to say like I put up a fight and I was capable of fighting if, heaven forbid, I'm ever in a situation like this again. And then also like I want to be able to do this to a level that I like empower women to be able to do this. I did a breathwork session on Sunday and was just shaking out so much trauma and so much pain and so much anger and so much fear. And the practitioner, my friend, came over and just laid her hands on me and was like, just be still, like just feel what it feels to be in your body. And I just started sobbing because I was like, it doesn't feel good to be in my body. It doesn't feel safe in here. And dealing with a lot of like physical abdominal pain lately again. And then just it feels just like a bundle of anxiety and fear and unsafeness. And 2 weeks ago now I did microdosing journey that unleashed a lot more healing, that opened up a lot more doors, I think, and started moving stagnant energy that has been there since abuse. And it felt like it started moving again, and I felt like my heart was open again. And I wanted to trust again. And then the first time I tried to put myself out there, I just felt put back in a place of being so unsafe. And that my body was just to be a tool for someone else's pleasure, not to be honored or respected or seen, or my mind or my spirit or my body to be honored. And I'm stepping into going through the journal that I wrote with women. And I think it just brings up a whole lot of like, I want to help people through their healing, and just brings up all of your unhealedness. And I'm going to start working with a coach, like an energy healing, somatic healing coach, because talk therapy is great, but it can only get you so far. And books like I wrote can only get you so far. I know it's not an end-all be-all because we are holistic beings, and so I'm in a place where I'm seeking all different parts of healing, and this Krav Maga seems like a different type of healing, and I just wanted to record this because I feel like I've been holding back tears since, I don't know, honestly, every day. But I just want to be able to look back at this one day like, this is why I started. I think I also want to premeditate cry because I'm nervous that even like walking in there is going to be such a big step of healing, but also such like a confrontation of this like fear and anxiety and like trauma and I'm like nervous, I'm just gonna like walk in and sob, or like it's taught, and like people attack you and you fight them off and like learn how to do that. And so I'm really nervous. It's just gonna like trigger, I don't know, like I have no idea what's gonna happen. But I want to practice being in control in those situations. Because I wasn't in the past. And I got surgery to help my pelvic floor relax as my body reacts to trauma, but I have felt it as these new layers of like healing open, but also like a new, like, it's like I have these sheets in my brain that protect me from memories, and it's like a new level of healing means like a new level of that sheet was dropped, and I like experience a new level of like what my body's holding on to, and I become conscious of it, and I have to like work through it to find that new level of healing. And so it also just brings up a lot of trauma to your like conscious forefront awareness that I'm just like walking around with every day. And even I was thinking today, like my niece, and everyone loves scaring me, but like my 11-year-old niece loves scaring me because I'm so easy to scare and I have such a big reaction. And today I was even wondering, like, I wonder if that's part of my like trauma response, is that like I'm literally walking around in so much fear that I'm gonna be attacked. And so then when people jump at me and people scream and people grab my body, like I every time I'm like thrown into like, but that's another reason I want to do this training even more, is because every time I'm thrown into like a shock and I freeze, and it takes me a long time to get my heart rate to come back down. Even thinking about it, like my heart rate is so elevated. I just want to freeze. I just want to crawl into a hole and never come out. And I just hate this is my reality for things I never asked for. And that this is so many other people's reality. And why so many like don't pursue full healing and rather just numb, because it's so much easier. And everything in me wants to just numb all of these feelings away. I don't want to feel them. But I also don't want to fear them anymore. Like, I don't want my story to control me. I don't want my story to have power over me. I want to know my story, to heal through my story, to comprehend my story. And then have power. That my power comes from my story. And it's just not easy. And it's just not pretty. And I really think I'm finding my niche is women healing from sexual abuse trauma and suicidal ideation. And every time I dive into feeling this, I remember I just wanted to die. And like, I love my life. I love my life. I love my family. I love my future. I love my dreams. I love it. I do not want to die. I think I'm at peace if I did, but not in a way of like, oh, I can go now, no one needs me here. Like, I have such a heavy burden and deep, like, I struggle to sleep most nights because I know I'm still here for such a big impact and for such a big reason. But to get to that impact takes a lot of deep internal work. And I have to keep going. I want to keep going. When I was in the hospital after trying to take my life at 13, I believe that God showed up to me in the form of a security guard. My ankles were handcuffed to the bed. My hands were handcuffed to the bed. He took them off. He walked me to the bathroom when I came back, and he refused to put them back on. And when I looked up at him finally, I said, "What are you doing? Like, are you going to chain me back up?" And he said, "No. Your chains are gone. You've been set free. You have a bigger purpose to live for, and that purpose is me." At the time, it made no sense. I was like, a security guard I've never met? Why would I live for you? And like, I don't feel like my life has a purpose, and I don't feel like I'm valuable, and I don't feel like I should keep living. And so I'm really annoyed at you, but like, thanks, because it's really uncomfortable laying here chained to this bed. And I rolled over and I couldn't forget it, and I've never forgotten it the rest of my life. And it's just been a journey. Like, what is that purpose, and who is me? And me is me, and me is universe, and me is God, and me is Jesus, and me is Holy Spirit, and me is you. If I ever put this out publicly and you're listening to it, because you're listening to it. And I want to be free. I want to be free of every abuse, of every struggle, of every lie that has ever chained me, of every sickness. Yeah, I want to be free, and I want to set people free. And it's hard, and it hurts. And you can have the best days ever with people you love. You can have really hard days with people you love. And then you can try to go to bed, like walking into bed, I was like, oh, I'm so at peace. And I laid down and tried to think about closing my eyes and just fear and anxiety and flashbacks and like me, flashbacks of past trauma, and also me like being put in the video of the story I watched of this girl being attacked in a show, and just nightmares of it happening again and not being able to protect myself. And yeah, when you blame yourself no matter what when you're a victim. But when you're someone that does victim advocacy work and you want to help heal people, and I think I've always known that this is my niche and where I'm going, but it's really scary to get there. Because to talk about why that's your niche, you have to talk about your story, and it's just not easy, even for someone willing to talk about it on surface level, willing to talk about it. And I tell my story quickly, but when I'm moving through it, it's just not easy. And it seems almost like a lie when people see me on a day-to-day, or like my family who saw me 20 minutes ago, and then I shut the door, and this is where I'm at. It's really hard for people that love us to comprehend that that's what happens. It's really hard for me to comprehend it. Like, why was I fine 5 minutes? Well, I guess now, like 30 minutes ago. And why are steps towards healing so anxiety-provoking and so scary? I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I'm searching for them. And if I can help people through my search feel less alone in theirs,